No pressure.
So I've got you and Edwin Lowe as well, and then I have somebody in my other club. So I'm trying to get some new people to do their first three speeches. So Chait is working on his second speech of the Competent Communicator Manual. It's called Organize Your Speech. The title is Up in the Sky. Select the objectives. So it's important to hear the objectives to know what you're listening for in an evaluator. You guys have little evaluation slips to know what to give them feedback on. These objectives are to select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear without supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to the other, and create a strong opening and conclusion. The time for the timer is 5 to 7 minutes. Please help me welcome Chait. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chait Manthena, and my speech for today is titled Up in the Sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. As the nursery rhyme goes, we have all wondered at some point of our lives, why are the stars up there? Why do they twinkle? How big is the universe? Are we alone? Well, I don't have answers to all of those questions today. But I'm going to talk to you about universe in general and 3 things about it. 1, how is the universe born? 2, how is it growing? And 3, how it might end. So let's begin. The birth of the universe. Well, there are many religious, philosophical, and scientific theories on this topic. I'm going to stick to science here. The most accepted scientific theory on this topic states that 14 billion light years ago, 14 billion years ago, there was this tiny, extremely hot mass that exploded with a really big bang. This explosion created humongous amounts of energy. Over a period of time, this energy created subatomic particles, which we call as electrons, protons, and neutrons. And due to gravity, these subatomic particles formed hydrogen and helium atoms, which are the basic elements of our universe. And over a period of time, many hundreds and thousands of years, these atoms, due to gravity again, formed stars, planets, and everything else that we know in the universe. Now that we have learned a little bit about the birth of the universe, let's talk about how is it growing. When we are young, we've probably all played with soap bubbles. If you're still playing with them, that's okay. The Big Bang created this huge soap bubble called universe that keeps on increasing and increasing and increasing. It's currently estimated that the universe is 92 billion light years across. 1 light year is the distance the light can travel in 1 year. That, my friends, is incredibly huge. And it's not just the universe as a whole that's expanding. It's even the distance between the stars, the planets, and everything else within the universe that's increasing as well. Well, if you're thinking the distance between you and the noisy neighbors next doors will also keep on increasing, that unfortunately will not happen because of the gravitational forces on Earth. They're too strong to help you there. And beyond this expansion, the Big Bang also created this assembly line of star production that keeps on churning new stars every minute, every second. Based on some estimates, there are 300 septillion stars in the universe.
Did you count?
1 septillion is 10 power 24. Just to give you some perspective, 1 billion is 10 power 9. So gosh, I'm not counting them. I don't expect anybody else to count them either. So finally, how it might end. Well, if it started with a big bang, maybe it will end with a big crunch, or a big freeze, or a big rip. Well, these are not names that I made up. These are actually common names for some scientific theories on this topic. So let me explain. Big crunch is when the universe reaches a maximum size of expansion, and then it starts to collapse again. It will become hotter and denser, and finally it will end with a big crunch. Big freeze, on the other hand, states that the stars would stop forming, either due to lack of the interstellar gas, which is the raw material for star formation, or maybe the stars would start colliding and creating black holes everywhere. You might ask, what are black holes? Well, I would say think of them as dementors of the universe. Well, if you don't know what dementors are, maybe you haven't seen Harry Potter movies. These are dark, foul things that suck up the life, happiness, in essence, the soul of their victims. Black holes are something similar. Big Rip, on the other hand, states that the stars, ultimately the stars, the planets, and everything else in the universe would get ripped apart because of the ever-expanding universe. Well, I have my own theory on all of this. Every end has a new beginning. So if it started with a big bang and it ended with a big crunch or freeze or rip, I think there'll be a short commercial break, and then there'll be a big bang again, and the cycle continues.
It is cautious that we are living in the years where universe is expanding, not collapsing.
On that cheerful note, I conclude my speech by encouraging you to look up the night sky, look at that twinkling little star, and wonder, why is it up there? Why does it twinkle? How big is the universe? Was it really the Big Bang which started it all? Maybe there are parallel universes out there, and we are not alone after all. Thank you for your attention, Madam Toastmaster.
All right, thank you. It was very fortuitous that you had that speech today, because when I was in Mexico, I looked up at the sky when we were in the middle of nowhere. It was pitch black, other than some fog. Between the fog, it would open, and there was like billions of stars. You could see when it's dark and you don't have city lights obstructing all that, to just see the twinkling and the density in some areas and the openness in others and the brightness of some stars and the just real faint ones, and you're wondering, how far is that away? Is there something out there that is as advanced as we are, or more advanced than we are, that we could communicate with? So I've had that conversation with my boyfriend about that really is it, could it really be in this little amount of time that we've been on this planet and able to communicate with each other and possibly outside, that there's somewhere else on some other planet in a galaxy of the universe that they're at that same time able to communicate, and can they communicate the same way? Would we even know they existed? So we had that conversation when we were driving in the pitch black in Mexico and looking at the stars. It's just something that if you just walk out one night and look and go, wow, that's something you just don't think of all the time. And we just look at our little planet and how people can't get along. And wouldn't it be nice just to say, look, we're just so lucky to be here at this very moment in time as a humanity, and why do we need to feel the need to kill each other and hate each other? Why can't we just really enjoy being here and saying, man, we're lucky that we were here together at this time? And who knows what's going to be in 1,000 or 10,000 or 1,000,000 years from now? Who knows?
It changes your perspective when you think about us being a small, tiny dot in the entire universe.
Absolutely. When you look and say at the stars that are twinkling and know that those are like sun, and there's probably another millions and millions and billions of planets possibly circling, and how infinitesimal Earth is compared to all of what's out there. It's mind-blowing. And another thing is, if you've never been to the Palomar Observatory in San Diego, on that mountain, the Palomar Observatory is amazing, and you can go see the 200-inch telescope that George Hale built, and how long it took him, the whole story. I actually did a speech on that. It was like my third or fourth speech in Toastmasters on the Hale telescope, and how that changed the science around astronomy. So with that, fill out your forms for Chait. Tell him what he did well and what some of the things. Give him feedback. What did you really like? I mean, I really liked when he talked about things very small, and have it open up your mind. So give him some feedback on that, of what you really liked, what he could do better. He maybe could have, like if you're an evaluator, you're going to talk about how he used the stage and how we use vocal variety, and everything that's on here is really helpful to have him improve his next speech. So with that, I believe you guys had a minute.